Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. And really, oh, what a mess. What a mess Manchester United is at the moment. One of the most unorganised transfer windows in our history. And that's saying a lot because, we've had some pretty awful transfer windows. In fact, that we are known for being unorganised and awful in the transfer window. But it's an absolute mess, this club. Honestly, De Jong, Antony, Ronaldo, we've got some exclusive information on all of them, what's going on in the inside. Obviously, there was the big board meeting yesterday. And this is the thing. So there was this big board meeting yesterday. Everyone was going to Carrington. Blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. This board meeting was just an absolute mess from what we're being told. It's a whole board meeting over United being completely and totally fucked, trying to convince Ronaldo to stay, figuring out what's happening with De Jong, figuring out what's happening with Antony. And the whole reason there's a board meeting is because Manchester United do not have a clue what the hell they're doing. They're trying to convince Ronaldo to stay. Ronaldo, reportedly, it got very heated between Ronaldo and Manchester United and Mendes, and they are not happy. Ronaldo is fuming with United. United do not know what's going on. United have no idea if they're going to get De Jong and Antony at this rate. It's all just a big fat mess. And honestly, I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid with Manchester United right now because I just sit here and I go, look, there's a chance we get De Jong, there's a chance we get Antony. It's still confident on De Jong, despite the news that's come out by reliable sources today. There has been a good Barcelona source saying De Jong's going to take a fucking wage cut. And I just think, nah, De Jong ain't that stupid. De Jong, if you take a wage cut to stay at the club that treats you like crap, to be on the bench, you'll be the next Donny van de bench because you'll just be sitting on that bench for Barcelona. You remark, absolute mug written on your forehead. Antony, 100 million. Man United do not pay 100 million for Antony. I want Antony. I like Antony. Ten Hag wants Antony. Antony wants United. But no way on earth is Antony worth 100 million. I'd rather spend 100 million on Declan Rice than Antony. I tell you that now. I did say this. If Antony and De Jong is really off, I generally wouldn't care if we spent our budget on Declan Rice. And I never thought I'd fucking say that because this club is an absolute mess. Cool, Eriksen signed. Yeah. Sunshine, rainbows. We've got Eriksen. I'm happy we signed Eriksen. It's a good signing, but let's not act in the slightest like Eriksen wasn't a free signing. Let's not act like Eriksen wasn't a bonus signing because it was a free signing. It was a bonus signing. It was a bit of everything. Man United is an absolute mess from top to bottom. We have no clue what we're doing. We've got no plan. Do you know what I mean? Ronaldo's come in, he spoke to Ten Hag, and him and Ten Hag having disagreements. De Jong, no one knows what's going on with De Jong. De Jong's still refusing to leave Barcelona. United are waiting out on De Jong. Man United have sort of ridden out the whole transfer window on freaking Frenkie de Jong. And I sit here and I saw someone comment this earlier. Man United could have got Antony for £40 million. And they said, no, let's get De Jong before we buy anyone else. And we lost players like Antony. We lost the chance to sign players like Antony and Lisandro Martinez for much cheaper because we thought we're going to wait on De Jong. Well, we're still here now. Honestly, I'm absolutely fuming as well. I mean, 100 million, Ralph would have got 3-4 players with that. It's an absolute disgrace. I'm absolutely fuming with the news that's come out this morning, and I'm going to get into the news. I'm all right, Daniel. Thanks for the chat. I'm just a bit annoyed with United. No Frenkie de Jong, no Antony. Ronaldo leaves. End of transfer window. And this is what it's looking like today. It's looking like an absolute massive mess at United. I'm still confident we're going to get De Jong. I still just think there's no way he would stay at Barcelona after all this. Honestly, I just think, but then people say if De Jong wants to come, he'd be suing Barcelona by now. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I know as much as Man United know, and Man United know nothing. So no one really knows what's going on right now. De Jong has said consistently he has no interest in United. But this is the thing. We get all these reports that come out from Barcelona. We get all these reports that come out from Spain saying, oh, De Jong has no interest in Man United. De Jong doesn't want to come to United. De Jong hates Man United. We're getting all these reports saying how much De Jong dislikes Man United. So the reports coming out today about De Jong not wanting to come to Man United is technically nothing new. We're getting all these reports saying there's no way De Jong will come to United. There's no way he'll play in the Europa League. De Jong's better than Man United. Blah, 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 blah. We get all these reports coming out of Spain. The thing is, Barcelona are full of shit. Now, everyone knows Barcelona's full of shit. They treat their players like shit. They owe players wages. But Laporta's a serial liar. Laporta said, oh, De Jong's not for sale. Laporta, you fucking sold De Jong to us behind his back. Barcelona are liars, and this is the thing. We have a lot of news coming out about Frenkie de Jong from the Barcelona journalists. A lot of news. But let's remember, Barcelona lied to their journalists. They might be good journalists, but Barcelona have been publicly lying, saying De Jong's not for sale. You know De Jong's for sale because you sold him to us. So I don't know why, a week after you agreed to sell De Jong to us, you say it's not for sale. Because you're a liar. I tell you that. You're a liar, Laporta. And the thing is, there's all this news coming out of Spain today saying De Jong's going to take a wage cut. De Jong doesn't want to come. There's no way De Jong will come to United. But Barcelona could just lie to their journalists like they lie to everyone else because they're absolute freaking lies. And the frustrating thing about the situation is, well, we're getting all these reports that there's no way De Jong comes to United and the De Jong deal is off and this and this and this and this and that. We actually don't have a clue. We don't have a clue because we cannot trust anything that comes out of Barcelona's mouth. And I'll tell you this now. If you think Man United leak a lot of information out, if you think Man United have got journalists like that, we know Man United is the social media club. We know United is a media club. But Barcelona are levels ahead of Man United when it comes to social media information. Man United leak a bit of information every hour out to the journalists. Let's get everyone talking about Man United. Barcelona every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes there's an update on De Jong. And I did a tweet today about Antony. So last night, about midnight last night, or 11:30 midnight last night, we get told from one journalist that basically the price of Antony is going to be lowered. And then 4 hours later, we get told by another good journalist that Ajax have put the price of Antony up. And it's like the same with De Jong. We get literally 1 hour is information like United believe they'll get De Jong as a done deal. United are confident De Jong will happen. United are going to hopefully close De Jong this week. The next day, De Jong won't leave. It's not about the wage cut. De Jong won't leave. De Jong won't leave. The next day, oh, De Jong's thinking about the Man United offer. The next day, no way De Jong's coming to United. This, that. And actually, the summary of this transfer window is we actually cannot trust anyone. Everyone, this transfer window seems to be absolutely full of crap as well. Guys, as Diego says, please hit that like button. Let's go for 300 likes by the end of the live stream as well. People say just accept he ain't coming. A lot of people are saying that. And Sani says De Jong is going to Manchester United 100. Barcelona using a strategy to get Man United to pay the deferred wages. And I do agree with this comment. I will say this now, and I don't want to talk about De Jong for too much. I still think Man United will get De Jong. I still do think Man United will get De Jong. And it's a transfer that when we get De Jong, I'm not even going to be celebrating that we got De Jong. I'm not going to be happy that we signed De Jong. I'm just going to be fucking relieved when it's over. It's just a horrible situation to be in. But the problem with De Jong is I do think Barcelona are playing us. And I know this is The Athletic and it's a good source. And a really good source in The Athletic have said Frenkie de Jong does not want to play in the Europa League. Even if Man United agree to pay De Jong's deferred wages, he wouldn't join them. And this has come out from The Athletic, basically saying, even if we agreed to pay De Jong's wages for him and begged him to come, he's still not going to come. And I look at that and I think, well, this is a good source of information. This is some very negative info. There was a big-ass board meeting at Man United the same day this info came out. Could Man United be panicking and inviting David Gill and Brian Robson and Sir Alex to their board meetings because they've messed up De Jong and they don't have a plan? Could Man United go in for Antony and all of a sudden it's advancing because they've messed up De Jong and they don't have a plan? Could this just be another negative report about De Jong, even though the situation is still the same, the stance is still the same? Because as far as I'm aware, and from what I've been told, the stance on Frenkie de Jong to United is De Jong is not going to do anything or say anything or change his current situation until he gets the wages from Barcelona. De Jong's agent has told him to just be quiet, not say anything, and just carry on as a Barcelona player. But privately, they had communicated to Man United that he would be interested in accepting and coming to Man United. Now, I am going to say, Man United are idiots. This is a Man United transfer rant. Honestly, if we do not get De Jong, there will be the biggest bloody rant ever. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Why would Man United spend nearly 3 months, nearly 3 months trying to sign a player that doesn't want to come? Why would we spend 3 months trying to sign a player that doesn't want to come? Why would Man United decide to actually, let's not go for Antony just yet. Let's get De Jong over the line. Antony was 40 million. United said, no, we're not going to sign Antony yet. We want to make sure we get De Jong before we buy another player so we know our budget. Antony's now 100 million. Okay, that's just an example of it. Why would United sit there on the De Jong train for 2.5 months, refuse to sign anyone else, not have any alternatives lined up in case it fails, if De Jong didn't want to come? Now, there has to be some indication privately that De Jong has told Man United he wants to come. Because I know Man United are idiots. but you'd actually have to be complete and utter imbeciles to spend all this time on a player that you don't know wants to come. We've put in an 85 million bid for De Jong, which has been agreed by Barcelona. Why would we do that for a player that doesn't want to come? I know we're idiots, but we'd have to be complete and utter imbeciles. And I don't trust this board. And we've been getting told information that this board is just as messy as the Woodward and Judge board. And we're getting information that Manchester United is a total mess inside and outside, and there's absolute chaos behind the scenes. And that's probably right. But I just think surely, as idiotic as this board is, surely they're not complete and utter imbeciles. Honestly. Alice, don't stress yourself. ERIK ten Hag and United board are just so useless. They will fail next season, honestly. We're a joke in the transfer market as well. And ERIK ten Hag has to be back. We're an absolute joke in the transfer market. We are the biggest joke in the transfer market out of all the football clubs. We are just embarrassment FC. We are just joke FC. We don't know what we're doing. We don't have a plan. Thank you very much. Same for the super chat. Alice, we're coming for United at Emirates and Old Trafford. Saliba and Jesus signing of the summer. We're on for third, 7th place. Best to you, Zane. It says Sane. Thanks, Sane. Sane, I'm not even going to say much to your comment because Man United are a complete and utter mess at the moment, and I do really like William Saliba. I just pray we get De Jong and Antony. If not, we are absolutely fucked. So thanks for the super chat, Sane, as well. Honestly, Frenkie de Jong's agent has said there is a club ready for him. This is the thing. And some people are saying it's Chelsea. Now, if Frenkie de Jong goes to Chelsea, I think I'd actually lose my mind. Honestly, I tell you this now. The one scenario worse than Frenkie de Jong staying at Barcelona would be Frenkie de Jong leaving Barcelona and going to a club that's not Manchester United. Because imagine this. Chelsea haven't spent any of the window on Frenkie de Jong. They just sort of leaked that they had a slight interest in Frenkie de Jong, not spent any time on Frenkie de Jong, got on with their transfer window, la-di-la-di-la-di-la-di-la. Imagine the scenes if bloody Chelsea went and got Frenkie de Jong after spending about a week on the deal and all they did was express a little bit of interest, because that would just sum up the absolute state of Manchester United and the absolute state that Manchester United is in. It absolutely would. Now, going back to the De Jong situation, going back to the saga and all of that, people are forgetting Manchester United's season starts in 9 days. The Premier League starts in 9 days. Do you know what? It took us 10 days to register Eriksen and Martinez after they were official. Eriksen and Martinez have been official for over 10 days before we bloody registered them. Do you think Man United are going to get another player in the next 9 days for the start of the season? Absolutely not, because they are an absolute mess, this board, from top to bottom. They actually do not have a clue what they're doing, and it infuriates me, honestly. Chelsea never want De Jong. I think Chelsea are in for De Jong as well. I don't think he will go to Chelsea, but there are reports that De Jong to Chelsea is more likely now. And if that is the case, as Steve said, 12 days for us, but 9 days till the Premier League starts. If that is the case, it's just an absolute mess. Honestly, I just think 9 days till the Premier League season starts. 9 days. And what have Manchester United done this window? Malacia, cool, that's a good signing. It's £12 million. That, you know, basically the money we got for Pereira, we invested in Malacia, backup left back to challenge Luke Shaw. Left back wasn't even a position of priority. Ten Hag just liked Malacia. Malacia, no issue with the signing, but you know what I mean. First signing Malacia, second signing Eriksen, 3 signing, bonus signing, 4th signing Martinez, 3rd signing Martinez. The only actual signing, proper signing that's going to walk right into that first team is Lisandro Martinez. And you're telling me that after Manchester United had the worst season in their history, this is the worst season in Manchester United's Premier League history, worst season ever, the big fallout, we've lost 5 players on a free, we've lost so many players, we've saved 60 million a year in wages, we've sold players like Pereira for 11 million, the worst season in Man United history, the biggest mess ever, and Ten Hag comes in, and this is going to be the biggest Manchester United rebuild ever, and this is a change, Woodward's gone, Judge just gone, and then you tell me we start the season with actually only 1 new player in that starting lineup. Imagine this. First game, Brighton, Lisandro Martinez is the only new player in that lineup that completely let us down last season. Because you can say, oh, pre-season's looking good, all sunshines and rainbows on pre-season. But that's bloody pre-season. I tell you this now, when we start losing, when things start getting negative, during the season. Do you trust these players? No. I think some of these players will be coming out with dressing room leaks and dressing room reports, and I think there'll be some issues between Man United players and Ten Hag. And although the dressing room's nice now and it's all sunshines and rainbows now, it's not going to be like that when the season starts. Look what they did to Ollie. Look what they did to Ragnick. Look what they did to Van Gaal. You're telling me they won't do that to Ten Hag? Nah. So we're going to start the season with probably Lisandro Martinez being the only real new signing at the club after we've had this dreadful season, after we've sent this message of Woodward's gone, Judge is gone, this is the new Man United, this is the new era, Ten Hag, biggest rebuild yet. Lies. All you do is feed us lies. Maybe if we do get De Jong, maybe if we do get Antony, it is a good transfer window. But the matter we've got, the matter of how we've gone into this transfer window is an absolute mess. The matter of how we've dealt with this transfer window is a mess. We could have got Lisandro Martinez for £30 million. We said no. We wanted to focus on De Jong. We then had to pay 50 million for him. We could have got Antony for 40-50 million pounds. Now, if we want him, we've got to pay upwards of 80 million, make him one of our record signings. Because Manchester United thought, let's not get the business done in May nice and early for Ten Hag. Let's do it one player at a time, because maybe that way we don't have to spend as much money. We need to figure out how much De Jong is, so we don't want to buy anyone until we know how much De Jong is. La-di-la-di-la. Oh, shit. We're into July 27th. It's nearly August. Oh no, Ajax have put their prices up. Oh no, really? We've only got a month left of the window. Oh no. I mean, seriously, they actually thought, and this club can say they've changed and all that. They have not. And this is why Ronaldo wants to go. And this is what Ronaldo said to the meeting. Man United literally thought, you know what, we don't know the exact price for De Jong, so we're not going to sign anyone until we know the exact price for De Jong. So we go no to Martinez for 30 million, we go no to Antony for 45 million, and now we're panicking. We haven't got De Jong in, the saga's been dragged out, but now we're going to have to spend 60, 70, 80 million to get Antony in and 50 million on Lisandro Martinez because we're such an unorganised mess. Man United, for some reason, just thought, you know what, we'll just focus on one transfer at a time. That's not how it works. Look at Man City, look at Liverpool, look at Arsenal. They got 3 signings in within the first few weeks of the transfer window being open. But Man United just stayed this complete and utter mess. It was just absolutely embarrassing as well, honestly. ERIK ten Hag effed up back in the squad in the first place. Hopefully the January window helps. I generally think we might be using the January window, and we do not use the January window at all, honestly. I was Gandalf at the Ronaldo meeting. Honestly, everyone was at that bloody Ronaldo meeting as well. Ten Hag's going to have a job on his hands, says Daniel. And even Martinez's price is absolute extortion. It is. Now, I like Martinez, I like Antony, but we've massively overpaid. It's an absolute joke. And honestly, I'm just fuming with how Man United have just treated Ten Hag and how we treated this transfer window. I mean, people say Martinez will play DM. If Martinez plays DM, then that's an absolute mess. Imagine playing, and I like Lisandro Martinez, but imagine spending 50 million on a centre-back to play him at DM because you couldn't get a bloody midfielder in. Imagine that. Ten Hag brought Lisandro Martinez because he wanted a left-sided centre-back. Ten Hag, when asked about why he signed Lisandro Martinez in the press conference, said because he wanted a left-sided centre-back. He thought the left-sided defence was vulnerable for Man United last season, and having a left footer in the defence brings balance. Ten Hag has brought Lisandro Martinez to play as a centre-back. And if we see that Lisandro Martinez playing as a DM because Manchester United neglected midfield, that has been the priority position for the last 3 years, then it just shows the state of our board. It'd be absolutely embarrassing. I don't think United could get away with acting like that as well. Honestly, I just think it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I've got no other words to describe it as well. And I'm not saying that Eriksen is a bench player, but he's a 3 signing. I like Eriksen. I'm happy we've got Eriksen, but it's a 3 signing. It's not I don't classify it as a proper signing as well. Eriksen, Fred, and the double pivot. Eriksen's not a pivot player. He's not a 6, and Fred's not a 6 either. I mean, I'm honestly, and this is how I feel. I honestly feel like if De Jong and Antony are not going to happen, go and sign bloody Declan Rice. Go and get a 6 in, because I've had enough of everything we're hearing. Now I want to get into the Antony news. I want to get into the Antony news here because this is what the rant is about. This is what's obviously wound me up today. Okay, and this is it here. Breaking. Ajax have raised their price tag for Antony from 80 million euros to 100 million euros, including bonuses. The Brazilian winger would like to get his dream transfer, but Ajax have no desire to sell any other player. And do you know what winds me up about this more than anything? Is one is the fact that we could have got Antony for 40 million. We turned down the chance to sign Antony for 40 million because we decided to focus on De Jong. So we decided to focus on De Jong, that's still not here after 2 months, and turned down the chance to raise Antony for 40 million. But what really gets me and what really winds me up about this whole situation is the fact that, okay, we get told, it's just the fact that we get told yesterday from some journalists that United are closing on Antony and Ajax are going to lower the price for Antony. We get told by some journalists yesterday that Antony is for sale and Antony to United is on. And then we get told again today, actually, no, if Man United want Antony, they're going to have to pay 100 million euros and get absolutely mugged off. 1 minute, it's Ajax are considering lowering the price for Antony and Man United are going to make a bid for Antony. The next minute, it's Antony's off the table. Antony's 100 million. There's no sense in this transfer window because we get one thing 1 minute and another thing the other minute. And it just winds me up because I cannot tell you what's going on with Antony to Manchester United. I haven't got a clue. I'm 50-50 on it. I don't think it's off. I don't think it's completely off. But I'm thinking if seriously, I would not pay more than 60 million for Antony. I don't think he's worth more than 50 million. He's got like 12 goals in the Eredivisie in like 30 games. He's not worth that much, okay? He's not at all. Ten Hag likes Antony, brilliant. That's who Ten Hag wants. Antony likes Man United, brilliant. But at the end of the day, do not waste all your money, Manchester United, on freaking Antony. I generally am, and I'm one of those people that's always like, back the manager, bring in the player the manager wants whatever. But I'm not spending 100 million euros on Antony. We need a DM, most importantly. We need midfielder, most importantly. We do need Antony, but it's one of those things where if we go for Antony next season, he's no more than £50 million. He'll be half the price next season. Is it a situation where you go all Jadon Sancho on Antony and go, I'm going to wait a year? Now, if we don't get Antony, we have to then get someone else in attack. Because Ronaldo, is being forced to stay, but Ronaldo might find a move. Okay? We don't know what's going on with Ronaldo, but he might find a move. And if one of the front three gets injured, we've got no one. And we do need another attacker, and we do need Antony. But unless Ajax are going to lower that price of Antony to below 80 million euros, there's not a chance in hell he is coming. The only way I can see Antony coming is this. And I get, if he's going to cost 100 million euros, is this. I could see, and I don't want to see this, but this is something United have done in the past with the Jadon Sancho saga. If Man United fail to land Frenkie de Jong, we have that 85 million euros saved. We've put 85 million euros away to invest on Frenkie de Jong. Now, if Man United fail to get Frenkie de Jong, I think Man United's response to failing to get Frenkie de Jong could be them going all out to sign Antony. It could be Manchester United going and breaking the bank to sign Antony, thinking, okay, PR spin, that will make the fans forget that we failed to get Frenkie de Jong, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Antony reminds me of our first go at Sancho, told to sign him by a certain time or would cost a fortune, and we ignored it. Absolutely spot on, Alex B. So chat of the day. I tell you this, have Man United learnt their lesson? No. The most infuriating thing about being a Man United fan is that every single failure and setback we have, the board do not seem to learn their lessons from it. They do not. They got told with Sancho, it's this price or you can't get him or the price is going to go up. They got told with Antony, it's 50 million. They didn't get him by the deadline that Ajax wanted to sell all their players by. Now the price has gone up because Ajax have planned for their season now. Ajax wanted all their players to be gone by mid-June, so they had enough time to reinvest and plan the season and go on pre-season tour with the new squad. And Man United absolutely ignored that because Man United thought, they're Ajax, we're Man United, let us go and get the big guns done first. Let's go and get De Jong and the difficult transfers first, and then we can go back to Ajax. Easy days, easy business. Yes, we have a good relationship with Ajax. Yes, we have a good relationship with Van der Sar. Yes, we got a good deal for Donny van der Beek, and we've been able to negotiate with Ajax quickly. But United just sat there and thought, yeah, we've got Ajax, well, we want them. Let's go get De Jong and sort everything else out and then go back to Ajax and just do the easy deals. No, Ajax were playing hardball with us because Ajax said to us, now, if you want to buy players, get them done in May and June because by the time July comes around, we ain't selling. And if we are selling, it's because we're putting a much higher price tag on the number 4. So we could have got Antony and Lisandro Martinez combined for £80 million. The two of them would have cost us £80 million combined. Okay, the two of them if we'd have got them in June. But United thought, no, let's go get Frenkie de Jong first that we still haven't got. And now Lisandro Martinez is £50 million. Now Antony's £80 million. Instead of the £80 million for both of them, they're now going to be 120, 130 million combined, because Man United just thought, oh, whatever, we'll go back to that later. Do we not learn? Do we not learn that actually the longer you take to sign players, their price is more likely to drive up? Man United's transfer technique for the last 10 years is, oh, if we drag out a deal, the club will get annoyed and lower the price and eventually cave in. That doesn't work. We did this with Bruno Fernandes. We did this with Jadon Sancho. We thought if we dragged on the deal, they would lower the asking price. That's what we thought. We thought drag on the deal, they lower the asking price, everything will go to plan. That's not how it works, Man United. In fact, the asking price normally goes up because teams have less time to plan. So we didn't learn from the Sancho mistakes. We didn't learn from the Bruno mistakes. And United have thought, you know what? City and Liverpool, we want to be like City and Liverpool. All right, Man United, if you want to be like City and Liverpool, actually take notes about what City and Liverpool do in the transfer window. Oh, what is that? They get business done early. City and Liverpool get their transfer business done nice and early, right on time, don't they? Look at them, Nunes, Haaland, Alvarez, all in early, okay? So if we want to be like City and Liverpool, then maybe we should copy what City and Liverpool do. Get business in early, back the manager, get the players the manager wants, and don't waste time. Because City and Liverpool have got 3-4 signings in by the start of the season. Cool, we've got 3 signings in by the start of the season. One's a backup left back, one's a free transfer, and one is Lisandro Martinez. But do you know what the funny thing is? ERIK ten Hag gave Manchester United a list in May. Okay, I'm going to tell you the names that are on ERIK ten Hag's transfer list in May. 1, Frenkie de Jong. He gave him that list in May. Is Frenkie de Jong at Man United? No. 2, Jurriën Timber. That failed. 3, Antony. Ten Hag's list in May, it had 4 names on it. De Jong, who's still not here. Timber, who didn't come. Antony, that's still not here, and Darwin Núñez. They were the 4 names that Ten Hag gave Manchester United in May. They were the 4 signings he wants. And not one of the 4 names that Ten Hag gave Manchester United in May will be here for the start of the season. In fact, 2 of them will not be coming at all. Maybe Timber next season. But Antony and De Jong is still very much up in the air. And United are going to spend the rest of this transfer window working on Antony and De Jong. I tell you this now. There's Dumfries, there's other fish in the sea like Aouar, Fabian Ruiz, there's other alternatives. But Man United are going to be stubborn and they're going to spend the rest of this transfer window on De Jong and Antony. And I feel like I'm going to sit here and go, cool, we want a right back. Cool, we want a midfielder. Cool, we want an attacker. But I think Man United could end this transfer window with a goalie and 1 more signing. Because they're absolutely unorganised. There is no backup plan to De Jong. There is no backup plan to Antony. If we don't get Antony, we don't have an alternative. There's not been an alternative for Antony. There's not been an alternative for De Jong. We were lucky there was an alternative for Timber in Martinez. But imagine this. We've missed out on Nunes, which was one of his main targets. We absolutely messed up the Timber deal because we took... Do you know what? Timber's another example of a deal Man United didn't get done because they took too much time. Man United could have got Timber done. Man United had a verbal agreement with Timber, but they were fucking about before they put in a bid with Ajax. They were just mucking about. They were absolutely mucking about with De Jong. If Man United had put in a bid to Ajax before Timber had gone on international duty, Timber would be a Man United player. If we'd actually contacted Ajax before Timber went on Man United on international duty, he'd be a Man United player. So we didn't get Timber because we took too long on it. We got Martinez, who was the second choice target, for overpriced because we took too long on the De Jong deal. We haven't got De Jong, even though we've been working on him since May. We haven't got Antony, who was a name Ten Hag gave to Man United in May, and we missed out on Darwin Núñez. And one of the reasons we missed out on Darwin Núñez was because United thought, no, we're going to go for De Jong first before we sign anyone else. And I don't really have that big of an issue that I've never wanted Darwin Núñez, but it's an absolute mess as well. Trust ERIK ten Hag as a plan B, but all managers at level 2. I do believe ERIK ten Hag as a plan B, but you've got to feel sorry for Ten Hag. Ten Hag's got to work with what he's given. Ten Hag is a very good manager, and Ten Hag's an organised manager, and Ten Hag knows what he's doing and all of that. But you've got to remember with ERIK ten Hag, he's expecting Man United to deliver. He's given Man United a list of players that he wants, and he's just going, I expect Man United to deliver. ERIK ten Hag's still chasing De Jong out of stubbornness, not because De Jong said he will join him. What are some thinking? Could it be out of stubbornness? Maybe. I don't think ERIK ten Hag's that stupid. I think we're still chasing De Jong because De Jong surely must have given some indications behind the scene. Please do smash that like button, subscribe down below. I will try and make you a mod when I do my next mod rounds. But yeah, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're going to go for 300 likes. We've got nearly 500 people watching, guys. So can we get 300 likes on the video? So please do smash that like button as well. Numerona says, forget Frenkie de Jong, but we don't have a backup plan. This is the problem. We're in a situation, and Barcelona know this, and this is why Barcelona are messing us about, because we're in a situation where we could be like, you know what, I can't be bothered to deal with this Frenkie de Jong shit, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Diego says, just wondering if you've had a smooth transfer window. I don't think we have, Diego. But Barcelona know that Man United have no alternative to Frenkie de Jong. Barcelona know that Man United have no backup plan to Frenkie de Jong. So Barcelona know, actually, if they wanted to, they could just go and fuck Man United about. They honestly could. They literally are just like, well, they need Frenkie de Jong. They've got no backup plan. Maybe they'll cave in and pay his wages because, you know, Man United are absolutely muddled at the moment. Man United don't know who they want. Man United do this, Man United that. I mean, honestly, Barcelona are just sitting there thinking, well, yeah, you know what, Man United are just absolutely disorganised. So it's calm, it's chill, it's chill, it's chill. Please do subscribe if you're new, by the way, as well. We could get Savage, Tielemans, and Skesko for 100 million. I don't think they're who Ten Hag wants, and I don't think they fit the plan as well. I do want to get into some more news, though, actually. So I want to show you a little bit of the Frenkie de Jong news. So let me get this up on the screen here. I want to get into the de Jong news and what we've been told today. This has obviously come out from a very good source today. So I'll get this one up here. So Frenkie de Jong's agent, Ali Dertan, has honestly told that a new club is ready for the player. So Frenkie de Jong's agent is saying that there's a new club ready for Frenkie de Jong, to take Frenkie de Jong on. He has already said to Laporta with his club must fulfill the obligations in terms of salary owed first. So it's sort of coming out regarding Frenkie de Jong to Man United, reportedly from Marcel van der Graaf of the Telegraph, that is a very, very good journalist, that basically before Man United get de Jong and all of that, they've got to fulfill, you know, this whole, what's it called? Barcelona have got to fulfill all his obligations. It's that. But the thing that I think is really interesting, really weird that's come out today, and I'm going to get it up on my screen here, was this is something that Van der Kraan said. He basically said, of course, United are not so crazy to make an 85 million euro bid for de Jong if they would know that he does not want to come at all. And he followed up by saying ERIK ten Hag would love to work with Frenkie de Jong again. So this has given me a little bit of hope. There's a lot of negative news stories about de Jong. There's a lot of big issues going on with de Jong. But we have made an 85 million euro bid for de Jong. And I don't think we'd do that if we didn't think de Jong wanted to come. And that's what Marcel van der Kraan is saying. He's saying, I think if de Jong really didn't want to million euro bid, that would be absolutely crazy. And although there's a lot of negative de Jong news coming out about him potentially taking a salary cut, a wage reduction, I just think, why, first of all, would de Jong take a wage reduction? But two, why would Man United make an 85 million euro bid if they knew that he wasn't going to come? And that's what's coming out of the Netherlands. And I still remain confident we will get de Jong over the line. I still do. But I do look at the situation and I go, it's an absolute utter mess at Manchester United at the moment. It's a complete and utter mess. And honestly, I cannot wait until this saga is over. And I think if we sign de Jong, I'm not even going to be happy. I would just generally be relieved. Could ERIK ten Hag be out of his depth at United? I don't think ERIK ten Hag's out of his depth at United personally in terms of the manager. But I think where ERIK ten Hag would be out of depth at Manchester United is more a situation with the board and the owners. I think ERIK ten Hag is perfectly capable of managing a club like Man United. I think ERIK ten Hag is a top manager. But I think every manager that comes to Manchester United almost is out of their depth because of the lack of backing by the board as well. Barca have agreed a price with United. That's part of the transfer is done. Issue is outstanding money, and Barcelona cannot register new signings until the wage bill comes down. And this is actually exactly what I wanted to get into. I'm going to get this up on the screen now. So basically, this is the one thing that gives me positivity about why United are going to get de Jong. And this is the one reason that I've been very, very positive that despite the negative reports and despite all the news coming out, that Man United will get de Jong, and that is because they will not be able to register their new signings, Rafinha and Lewandowski, if de Jong is still at the club, reportedly coming out. So let me get this up on my screen for you guys here. The registration of Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski is not guaranteed at Barcelona if Frenkie de Jong refuses to leave or take a pay cut. Barca will have a big problem with La Liga. Now, my first thought is if we don't get de Jong and they can't play Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski because they can't register them, I'd absolutely laugh. I tell you what, If Man United not getting De Jong and he stayed at Barcelona meant that Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski couldn't play for Barcelona next season, I think I would quite enjoy the fact that De Jong stayed just to look at Barcelona's absolute misery. But I don't think that's going to happen, because I think at the end of the day, I think the whole reason De Jong is doing this game with Barcelona, the whole reason De Jong is refusing to leave Barcelona is because he knows they will have to give him his money. See, but De Jong's in a position where Barcelona have gone and got Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski. They're about to get Jules Koundé. But De Jong's in a position where he knows Barcelona have got these players, but they cannot register these players until De Jong is left. And De Jong knows that. And he knows that Barcelona do not want to give him the money they owe him. But he also knows that Barcelona need to register Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski. And the reason I think De Jong is stance is I'm refusing to leave, and De Jong's agent stance is I'm refusing to leave, is because they know Barcelona will be totally fucked if he stays. They know that they know he's not going to take a wage cut. He'll be absolutely fucked if he stays. And Barcelona 10 days ago offered De Jong €3.5 million towards his salary. De Jong said no. Just 2 days ago, Barcelona offered Frenkie de Jong €8 million towards his salary. So he's owed €19 million, and he was offered €10 million. He's offered £8 million. So De Jong was first of all offered £3.5 million. He said no. He's then recently been offered £8 million of the 17 he's owed. He said no. Now De Jong, every week that goes by, Barcelona are offering De Jong more and more of his wages, because Barcelona need De Jong to go because they know he's not going to take a wage cut. And this might be a point where De Jong and his agent are just playing Barcelona into paying him his wages, into buying him out, because Barcelona want to register Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski, but they won't be able to with De Jong still at the club. And I think that is what is the main reason behind it. It's not that De Jong doesn't want to come, it's that De Jong and his agent are playing games with Barcelona as well. United are like a bride waiting at the altar for the groom while he tries to make it work with his old girlfriend. That's a very good way of summing up as well. This transfer window is absolute shambles as well. Who's going to take free kicks for United? Hopefully Eriksen as well. I think Declan Rice will go to Chelsea next season, but I'd like Rice at United as well. Alice, do you think Erik ten Hag has a shopping list for players? Erik ten Hag's shopping list was De Jong, Timber, Núñez, Antony. Erik ten Hag's shopping list now is probably fucking hell, please get De Jong, please get Antony, Denzel Dumfries. And that's his current shopping list as well. And honestly, it's Barcelona clearly think they're alternatives to De Jong. Well, Barcelona want to go for Bernardo Silva as well, which I don't think would be the case, because I cannot see Man City selling this late into the window. I'll tell you what, Man City have had one of the best transfer winners ever in terms of ins and outs. Honestly, we don't have to blame the club when it comes to De Jong. The fault is with Ten Hag. He's inconsistent. He wants De Jong. The club are doing everything to support the manager. This is an interesting comment, actually. And if we don't get De Jong, would you put some of the blame on Erik ten Hag? Would you put some of the blame on Erik ten Hag if Man United failed to get De Jong? Because Erik ten Hag's made it clear to Manchester United he wants De Jong and only De Jong, and the club are backing that decision. So does Ten Hag deserve to take a little bit of the blame if De Jong falls through? Or is it, that's an interesting question, because we've wasted all this time on De Jong, and a part of it is Ten Hag. A part of it is that's what Ten Hag's told the board to do. So is the blame on the board for not delivering De Jong and just being like, look, Ten Hag, it's not going to happen, we need to move on? Is the blame on Ten Hag? It's the blame on everyone? Or at the end of the day, is most of the blame on Barcelona for being absolute see you next Tuesdays when it comes to treating their players as well? And De Jong is not joining United just to accept it, embarrassing some fans are obsessed with it. Well, no, this is the thing, Tony. I still think he will join. And look, people can call me an idiot when we get to the end of the transfer window and I do a rant about De Jong not coming. But I just think that he physically cannot stay at Barcelona. Barcelona would be absolutely screwed if he stayed, because they've just signed all these new players and they cannot register him if he stays. Like, that is the whole situation. So that is why I think it's going to happen. Signing Scamacca is going to make you guys better. I think signing Scamacca is a really good signing for West Ham, and I wish that United would have gone in for Scamacca as well. So Ronaldo has been told he has to stay. We got him right at the end of the window. Mendes, the pimp, will try and get removed. Just let the snake leave. I want to talk about the Ronaldo situation, because we've actually been told some inside stuff about the Ronaldo situation as well, but we can't because we don't know what's been said by De Jong and Ten Hag. That's a good point. If De Jong's told Ten Hag, I'm going to come, and Ten Hag told United not to give up, then is that Ten Hag's fault? No. And as Diego says, for all the best Manchester United news and transfer news, please do smash that like button, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talk Football if you're new. By the way, guys, Manchester United are playing a behind closed doors pre-season friendly versus Wrexham today, so there will be another video today and potentially a live stream tonight if there's any breaking news, because I will be covering and doing a match reaction to Manchester United versus Wrexham today, where Christian Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez are expected to make their Manchester United debuts today versus Wrexham in a pre-season friendly behind closed door match. So I will be giving you exclusive content on that, so do subscribe for that if it sounds like your thing as well. But carrying on, back onto the news, back onto the train, back on what's going on as well. But we want to talk about Ronaldo. Ronaldo will probably go on vacation. I mean, look, it's a frustrating situation what's going on with Ronaldo, because can I blame Ronaldo for wanting to leave? No. People will call Ronaldo a snake. People are angry with Ronaldo. People are fuming at the Ronaldo situation. But actually, when I sit here, I go, I can't really blame Ronaldo for wanting to leave. Like, I can't. George Mendes is coming in and he's basically told Man United to let Ronaldo go. And the whole meeting went down as Ronaldo wants to leave. George Mendes is trying to convince Man United to let Ronaldo leave. And Ten Hag and Man United are telling Ronaldo, you can't leave. We want you. You're part of the plan and all of that as well. That's the situation as well. It was sort of said that basically Cristiano Ronaldo had tense talks on Tuesday with ERIK Ten Hag, where the player insisted his desire to leave. Ten Hag tried to convince him again of the project's ambition, but the striker again retained his desire to leave. That's what's been said about the Ronaldo situation. I'll get up on your screen. Now, we've also been told basically a little bit more story about it. We've also been told regarding this situation that pretty much the reason Ronaldo wants to leave is because of the transfer window. He he does not trust Man United. Ronaldo doesn't want to leave because he hates United. He doesn't want to leave because he's a snake. Ronaldo said to Ten Hag, I like you, Ten Hag. I rate Ten Hag. I like your project, but I cannot trust that this project is going to, I cannot trust United. This is where Ronaldo's problem lies, because he sees what we've done in the transfer window. He'll see that United are trying to sell him this project, but he's looking at what we've done in the transfer window. He's looking at everyone else around us and thinking, well, Man United have not done anything serious in about 10 years. I'm a top player with a little bit of time left at the top. I want to be in the Champions League. I want to save my legacy. And Man United can tell me about this big plans for the future and all of that, but they have big plans under Mourinho. Okay, we won a Europa League, became second, but we didn't win the Prem. We didn't win the Champions League. You have to give Ronaldo a bit of slack, because you actually, Ten Hag can sit here and Man United can sit here with Ronaldo and try and convince him to stay. But at the end of the day, when you know what Manchester United are like, and if we look at Man United's track record since Sir Alex have left, it's been failure, failure, failure. The board could say to Ronaldo, look, we're going to bring in loads of new players, we're going to invest and we're going to build an amazing team. But Ronaldo's like, well, yeah, but actions speak louder than the words. I believe it when I see it. He's saying it, but I can't trust you. And that is the main situation going on with Cristiano Ronaldo, is that he cannot trust what Manchester United are telling him. He cannot trust if United are lying to him or not. Ronaldo will be professional while he's still here, but when he scores a lot, the narrative will disappear. I agree. I think with Ronaldo, I have no issue with Ronaldo wanting to leave. I think that it's annoying how the situation's been dragged on, and he obviously doesn't want to be here, and I wish Ronaldo did want to be here, but I can't blame Ronaldo for wanting to leave. I can't get annoyed at Ronaldo. Sick, injury prone and flopped at Chelsea. Who is your turn? This is a good question. Everyone in the chat, let me know. Who would be your alternative for Antony? If Man United didn't get Antony, who would you get as a right winger? Because Antony, we could be priced out of Antony as well. We could absolutely be priced out of Antony as well. I don't understand how United fans are going after ERIK Ten Hag on the board when the fee is agreed and the whole issue is related to Barca and the player. I do agree with you. I do think there's not 100% to do with the board and ERIK Ten Hag. I think it is more to do with that as well. CR7 is staying with you. Staying as it is with United, but the thing is, as it is, Ronaldo is staying because he's been forced to stay, but he's got George Mendes as agent. He could very much engineer a move back in August as well. Paul Pogba is injured. I want to say something actually about Paul Pogba being injured. And this is the fact that there are, for some reason, and I don't get why, there are Man United fans sort of celebrating the fact that Paul Pogba's been injured, and I think, why are people happy that Paul Pogba's gone to Juventus and been injured? I like Paul Pogba. I think he wasn't that great at United. I think he was underwhelming, and I think Pogba FC got a bit ahead of themselves. But I like Paul Pogba. When Paul Pogba was on form and playing well for Man United, he was an absolute baller. And I think that Man United never got the best out of Paul Pogba. And I think that maybe Paul Pogba, Mino Raiola, they did cause some issues. But Paul Pogba was never the problem at Man United. And I think there was this false narrative that he was. And I'd never had any issue with Paul Pogba. And I liked Paul Pogba. And I did want him to leave in the end because I just thought it's time for Pogba to go, this whole situation. But I don't get why there are United fans actually thinking it's funny that Pogba's injured. Like, my stance on Pogba is I think it's best for both if Pogba left. I think he did not live up to the potential and the hype. We saw moments of what Pogba could have, and we didn't unlock the best out of him. But I sit there and I go, I wish the best for Paul Pogba. I do like Paul Pogba. I think that he was the scapegoat for a lot of problems at United, and the media would blame him for everything. And I wish him the best at Juventus. But some Man United fans are actually sitting there going, oh, I'm really happy Paul Pogba's injured. Paul Pogba's injured. And it's like, well, it's a human being. Like, surely we should just want the best for them. Like, every single Man United player, at the end of the day, even if I go through phases where I like them, I don't like them, I just want the best for them. Like, am I Harry Maguire's biggest fan? No, I'm not. I don't think Harry Maguire should be captain. I don't think Harry Maguire should start for Man United. But I want the best for Harry Maguire. If I want Harry Maguire to start a game next season and put in an absolute 10 out of 10 performance. If I had a choice of Harry Maguire never plays for Man United again because he's absolute shit when he does play, or Harry Maguire does play for Man United again and he's absolutely brilliant and he's Van Dijk level, then I would pick Harry Maguire being brilliant at Van Dijk level. Not that I think that's going to happen, but I always think for me, my mindset is I just want the best for every single Man United player. And I don't get why a lot of people are like, I don't get the hatred, to be fair, as well. Ronaldo in denial about his age and how much of a future he has at the top level. But Ronaldo's just Ronaldo. He just changes everything. People saying Danjuma. Who's your Antony replacement? Would it be Danjuma? Would it be Ziyech? Which right wing would you make a move for? I would have liked Raheem Sterling, actually, but that's obviously not going to happen. He's gone to Chelsea. I've always kind of liked Raheem Sterling in a weird way as well. Ronaldo didn't make it any easier coming up with this news so late. I agree. But I think the reason Ronaldo came out with the news so late that he wanted to leave Manchester United was because Ronaldo was going to wait and see what we did in the transfer window. And then once the transfer window started looking shit with Liverpool and City buying players and United doing nothing, that's when Ronaldo announced that he wanted to leave. I think Ronaldo was waiting to see if we delivered in the transfer window or not as well. The season, I would look at a young and upcoming striker. Sancho and Dalot are building a relationship on the right. If the midfield we need more quality. I do agree. I actually think a striker is more important than a right winger. Because at the end of the day, if worst comes to worst, Martial, Sancho and Rashford can all play winger. Only Martial and Ronaldo can play striker. We've got loads of players in the youth that can play winger. I agree. But I also have to say, I think there's been a really good connection between Dalot and Jadon Sancho. And I've been really impressed with the Dalot and Jadon Sancho thing. Big up Diego and Gaz in the chat as well. If Juventus does a bid for Martial, we should trade for their player Locatelli, then forget De Jong. Disagree. I think, we could see a good Martial this season. I do like Locatelli, but I still think we need two midfielders as well. I totally agree with Ronaldo wanting to leave the club. The club's ambition didn't match his own, and that's an honest. Manchester United board has shown they don't want to compete at the top level. That's exactly how I feel. Can you blame Ronaldo for wanting to leave? Leon Bailey, he's more of a left winger, isn't he, as well? Oh, no, he did play on the right when he absolutely tore apart Shaw and Lindelof as well. Ziyech did look really good at Ajax under Ten Hag, and I actually do. Although Ziyech's been underwhelming at Chelsea, I do think if there's a manager that would get the best out of Ziyech, it would be us. Although he's just aging a bit and he's injury prone as well. But I think, look, there's Ziyech, there's Danjuma, there's striker. There's a lot of alternatives to Ronaldo. But I actually want to get into the Ronaldo news. So Laurie Whitwell said that Ronaldo spoke to Ten Hag in person for the first time since expressing his desire to leave came public, and Ten Hag has had one-on-one meetings with every single member of the Manchester United squad. It was also said that Manchester United refused to budge from their hardline position that Cristiano Ronaldo must stay at United after an opening round of talks. The day of negotiations at Carrington ended very tense. The Telegraph is saying the negotiations between Ronaldo and Ten Hag and Man United did not end well, and that's been reported by the Telegraph, and that George Mendes asked Manchester United to even possibly renew Ronaldo's contract and let him go out on loan, and that George Mendes is trying to even push for Ronaldo to have a loan because he's desperate for Ronaldo to get out of Man United. He said Ronaldo still wants to leave, but he wouldn't refuse to play under Erik Ten Hag, said Graham Bailey. Ronaldo will continue to be very professional under Ten Hag. He likes Ten Hag, and he'll be, he won't refuse to play, but Ronaldo still wants to leave because he has a lack of trust in the Manchester United board. It was also said by Manu Hussein, who's been pretty much on the story a lot, a foreign journalist, that Cristiano Ronaldo will train with total professionalism as long as he's a Man United player, and that before Manchester United training yesterday, Ronaldo was chatting to all the Brazilian and Portuguese players, as well as some recent signings, saying thinking, okay, that's it. It's enough. It's time to train. Let's go. Trying to get on with it, trying to train, trying to return to United so everything's normal. They did say, as you can see, that Ronaldo had tense talks on Tuesday with Ten Hag, where the player insisted his desire to leave, and Man United were trying to convince him to stay. Man United got the whole, basically, what happened is, and this is really embarrassing, is that Man United basically got the whole board together and they were like, stay Ronaldo, stay Ronaldo, stay Ronaldo, stay Ronaldo. We promise you we'll be different this year. We promise you we're going to sign players and we're going to be a good side. And Ronaldo thought, you literally, actions speak louder than words. What have we done in the transfer window? For the last 10 years, there's been rebuilds. You're saying you've changed, you've done nothing in the window. De Jong this, Antony that. Ronaldo's like, I cannot trust you. I like Ten Hag. I think he's a good manager. I cannot trust the process because I cannot trust that the board is going to deliver. Because instead of having a board of people like Paul Mitchell and footballing people, we have a board of John Murtagh, who doesn't give a fuck about football, Glazers who don't even watch football, know what the offside rule is, and didn't even know how old Ronaldo was and he joined Manchester United because they have absolutely no clue about how football works, and Richard Arnold, who's a rugby man. So it's all this big joke, and Ronaldo's thinking, well, you run the board, you don't even like football, piss off. That's what Ronaldo's thinking. I cannot trust United, and they're begging him to stay and trying to convince him that things are going to be different. And you've got nothing to convince Ronaldo. You know, Ronaldo's got every single right to think the board are full of shit because they have been for multiple years as well. Fabrizio Romano did say that the board meeting on Tuesday at Carrington with George Mendes, Ronaldo, Ten Hag and the United board was about discussing Ronaldo's future. So Manchester United came out yesterday trying to act like the board meeting was nothing to do with Ronaldo yesterday. No, it wasn't. Man United got the whole board in to try and beg Ronaldo to stay because we're an absolute shambles of a club. But the interesting story that's come out, and I'm actually going to get this up on my screen for you guys, and this story might surprise some of you guys, and this was a story I wasn't really expecting to come out today with, but here it is. Let me press the story here. This has come out from Laurie Whitwell, that's a good journalist, and it said that Antoine Griezmann is thought to be available with this summer, a situation of which Manchester United are aware, but the idea of a potential swap deal with Ronaldo has been dismissed at this stage. But he's talking about the potential of maybe, if worse comes to worse, a Griezmann-Ronaldo swap deal, which personally I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think Ten Hag's the biggest fan of, and if Ten Hag doesn't want this to happen, we cannot let it happen. But how would you guys feel about Antoine Griezmann, Ronaldo swap deal? I'm going to do a poll because I know you guys like polls, and I haven't interacted that much with you guys this live stream. I'm going to do a cheeky poll for you to answer, and I want your thoughts. Stupid advert. Griezmann swap deal with Ronaldo? Question mark. Yes or no? Would you be down for a Griezmann-Ronaldo swap deal? Like, yes or no? I've just put a poll in the chat. Really intrigued to see what you guys comment there and what your thoughts are. But I don't think it will happen. Griezmann's 31 years of age. He's not been at the level he was for the last few years. He got 3 goals in 26 La Liga matches last season. He was pretty crap. I don't know why ERIK ten Hag would personally want Antoine Griezmann, and I don't think he does, and I don't think it will happen. But would you guys like to see that happen? For me, 3 goals in 26 matches from Griezmann when Ronaldo got nearly 20 goals in the Premier League. So I just think we'd be absolutely mugged off. And I think that Griezmann's a player that United almost signed in the past and never really wanted to come. So I've never been the biggest fan of Griezmann to Manchester United, but I did think, you know, it's interesting to see what your guys' stance would be on that as well. I don't think it will happen. I don't want it to happen, but let me know your thoughts on that whole situation as well. Someone said to sign Luis Suarez. Look, Luis Suarez is a much better player than Griezmann. And I do think Luis Suarez is a good player, but I just don't think I could ever have Luis Suarez at Manchester United because of what he did to Patrice Evra. You know, there's a lot of Liverpool players I would take at Manchester United, even if I don't like them because they're a Liverpool player. But with Luis Suarez, as good as he is, he racially abused Patrice Evra, and I just think it would be immorally wrong for Man United to bring him to the club. You know, he's an absolute knobhead, and you know, Patrice Evra is far more important than Luis Suarez. So I personally have never been a big fan of the idea of getting Luis Suarez. I think he's an absolute knobhead, despite him being quite good last season as well. Why Griezmann? We could have had Dybala on a free. I mean, this club. I don't think we'll get Griezmann. I think it's just rumours. Like, as I said, Man United sort of dismissing the idea. Sign Yuri Tielemans. I'm a big fan of Tielemans, but he's still very up in the air. I don't think United want Tielemans. Griezmann, like Dybala, is finished, but Dybala's got a few years left as well. He eats players as well. You know, he'd eat players as well. But the situation is, I think ERIK ten Hag never wanted Griezmann. I think ERIK ten Hag never wanted Dybala, and I think that's why we've never gone for them. I think the reason it's been Antony and only Antony is because the only player ERIK ten Hag's really wanted at Manchester United is Antony. I think that's the situation. Antony has been the only winger he wanted. The reason we haven't had much links to Dan Juma or João Felix or Griezmann or Dybala, the reason they weren't strong is because Erik ten Hag honestly had his heart and his mind pretty much set on Antony this whole time. And I think that's where Erik ten Hag is at. He's like, I want Antony. Antony's what I want. This is what we've got to get. Blah, 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 blah. I've got a little bit of news actually, what I think is quite interesting, talking about, Erik ten Hag's plan for some of the youngsters. And apparently Erik ten Hag and Darren Fletcher were talking this week whether to send Charlie Loan and Sedan Iqbal out on loan, and that Erik ten Hag has been impressed by the way Savage and Iqbal took their chances in pre-season, and that ten Hag had already emphasised to Savage and Iqbal that they are at the start of their journey and the hard work is key to their development. This has come out from Henry Windsor. Henry Windsor also said that Iqbal and Savage's promising displays on tour meant that if they were to go out on loan, they'd likely get a better level of loan like the Championship instead of maybe what was expected League One. I mean, would you guys let Sedan Iqbal and Charlie Savage go out on loan, or do you think with the state of our midfield that we might actually need them? I don't think they're ready, but do you think it's actually, you know what, let's use them in the Europa League, or would you let Charlie Savage and Sedan Iqbal go out on loan? 67% of you said no to Griezmann, and I don't blame you with that. I mean, I'm full on no to Anton Griezmann. I just think we'd be getting mugged off as well. Ronaldo needs to play with Messi. Honestly, Ronaldo going to PSG would be absolutely crazy. I don't think Ronaldo and Messi would work in the same team, though, because I think they both want to be the main man. I don't think they'd actually get on as well. Actually get Antony, no excuses, says Numerino. Even with the price tag, he's saying we should go for Antony. If we sign Julian Alvarez, we would not need to worry about striker. I mean, Julian Alvarez is a young striker. We might need to worry about it a little bit, but I do wish we signed Julian Alvarez. And the thing that frustrates me is that Ralph Rangnick literally in January said Julian Alvarez is £17 million. We're very low on striker depth. Let's get Julian Alvarez £17 million. And United went, no. I mean, and he's gone to Man City now. And I tell you this now, when Julian Alvarez is the next freaking Aguero, just remember that Ralph Rangnick was really trying hard to persuade the Man United board to spend just £17 million to get him. And they said no. Because our board are an absolute bunch of idiots. Absolute bunch of idiots. And he even suggested Kamara, 10 million. Sakaria, 6-7 million. He tried to persuade them to actually look at Hedera and Lamar, and they said no. And I understand that Rangnick wasn't going to be the full-term manager, and that's why we didn't obviously buy anyone in January. But I think 70 million on Julian Alvarez, it doesn't matter who the manager is. That's just a player to be developed. And I think that's a player that Ten Hag wouldn't have said no to. I mean, he's absolute baller as well. I want to get into a little bit more news as well, so make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe down below if you know. Someone said Zapata for striker. That's a suggestion that I've not actually seen before as well. It's an interesting thought as well. Luis Suarez to Man United is asking me to wear a Millwall shirt, and Daniel's a West Ham fan. That's like asking me to wear a Man City shirt. It's an absolute no to Luis Suarez as well. But keep smashing the like button as well. Border idiots. Patrick Schick. I like Patrick Schick. I think he would be decent up front. Leroy Sane, I like him, especially to annoy Man City fans as well. That advert sounded like Luis Suarez trying to eat someone. Yes, because whenever I click on my video to check the poll, a bloody advert comes on. It's really annoying as well. Do you think United should sign Neymar? No. Yeah, I mean, look, if Ten Hag wants Neymar, yes. But I don't think Neymar's the kind of player Ten Hag wants. I think Ten Hag's philosophy is more, he doesn't want big names. I think in the past, United have got so many big names, and there's been just problems with sort of dressing rooms, not quite working, too many egos. I think when there's loads of big names, they struggle to play together. I think Erik ten Hag's sort of plan is really to construct a team for Manchester United. And, when you look at the Liverpool rebuild, what Klopp did when he came into Liverpool, Alisson was what Roma, Matip was what Schalke, Robertson was Hull, Van Dijk was Southampton, Trent was Youth, obviously Fabinho was Monaco, Keita was the RB club. Obviously Henderson was technically Sunderland, but he was there before. You got, Wijnaldum, I think, was Newcastle. Mane was Southampton. Firmino was Hoffenheim. Salah was Roma. I mean, Jota was even Wolves. Luis Diaz was even Porto. You look at all the players that Liverpool have signed, and Liverpool are arguably the best team in the world, or the second best team in the world. And you look at all the players Liverpool has signed. There's not been one star name or one star signing. There's been a few expensive signings to finish the piece of the puzzle, but all the clubs that Liverpool have brought from haven't been massive clubs or massive names. They've been young players with good injury records, with good potential that suit Klopp's system. And I think Ten Hag wants to follow that model. Was okay, Ten Hag, you get Dybala for free. Ten Hag, you could go and get, I don't know, Neymar, and that'd be cool, Dybala and Neymar. But does that work? Because we've had Falcao, flopped, Di Maria, flopped, Cavani somewhat worked, but not really. Pogba somewhat worked, but not really. I mean, we've got all these big names and it's gone plop. And Ten Hag wants to do his rebuild in the sense of, I'm going to get in players that I want, that are young, that can improve under me, that want to come to Manchester United, and they suit my philosophy. Because a lot of players in the past have come to Man United, like Sanchez, because we're the only ones that will give them the most crazy wages ever. And, you know, when players are coming to your club for the wages, when players are coming here because they don't want to be here, it causes a problem. If players are coming here because they're like, I'm young, this is cool, like this is a step up, I want to prove myself, that's when you get the right attitude and morale in the dressing room. And I think that's the approach that Ten Hag would want to make and hopefully can make. Can we get 300 likes on the video? Yes, please do smash that like button if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, please do subscribe as well. Honestly, Murta or Woodward, Alice, I still pick Murta. I don't think you can get any worse than Woodward. At least at the end of the day with Murta, he thought Woodward giving Bayern Jones a new contract to increase their value was stupidity. I mean, you can't get worse than Woodward. Well, like she says that, whenever I say Man United can't get worse, or whenever I say something about Man United, like, oh, this, or that, or this, we send not getting worse. What time's the watch along? Well, the Wrexham game's behind closed doors, so it's not on TV, so I won't be doing a watch along to the Wrexham game today, but I will be doing a match review because I will get some footage of the Wrexham game. So if you want to like stay up to date, we've got can't talk, guys. Manchester United have a pre-season friendly today versus Wrexham. Now it's a behind closed door pre-season friendly, so it's not going to be on MUTV, but we are playing Wrexham today, and Lisandro Martinez and Eriksen will feature. Now, obviously, that game's not on TV. No one can watch the game, but I will be getting footage from the game, a little bit of access to the game, and I will be doing a match reaction to what went on in the game, what the full-time score was and all of that. So if you want to know how Eriksen and Martinez's debut was, who scored the goals in the games today and all of that, and a little bit of an update on how the game went, do subscribe because I will be doing a video later today about the pre-season game. But I can't do a watch-along because unfortunately it's not going to be shown on TV, so I'm only going to get access to little bits of it as well. Neymar knows what he's doing, getting paid for nothing, fake injury like Pogba. I don't think Neymar and Pogba do that. I really don't. I personally disagree as well. Alice, Lisandro, have they finally announced Martinez? Oh my God, they finally announced Martinez. Have they finally done it? Have they finally done it? Honestly, time for Antony to do Lisandro Martinez. Official, Lisandro Martinez has completed his transfer from Ajax to Manchester United. Let's have a look. I want to see. Let's get the Lisandro Martinez stuff out. Manchester United. What, have they tweeted anything? Have they tweeted it? Oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Martinez has been announced as well. Daniel's predicting we're going to beat Wrexham 5-0. We've got the Lisandro. I tell you what, we all knew the Lisandro Martinez announcement was going to be today, but it's quite nice to see a cheeky Lisandro Martinez announcement here from United. Oh, this is the announcement video. I'm going to get copyrighted. Oh, I can't play the announcement video because they're going to bloody copyright me. Stupid Man United, aren't they? Stupid Man United. Have they posted a picture? They've not. So this is the picture we've got. If I show you the video, I'll bloody get copyright because Man United will do anything to take about £10 off me. But let me see if they put anything on Instagram. Manchester United. Let me see what else we've got about Martinez joining. Lag. My computer's so loud. Here we go, guys. Here he is. This is sexy. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen with you. Lisandro Martinez. Here we go. He has been announced by Manchester United. He has been announced by Man United. I'm not going to comment anything weird on it, actually. I was about to comment very sexy, and I was like, that's going to look a bit weird. But Lisandro Martinez, I'm not going to lie, he looks freaking good in that. I'll tell you what, it's been a very negative video, but we'll be ending on a more positive note of there's finally a picture of him. There's finally a picture of him. Yeah, Eriksen was at the Twitter banner. Lisandro Martinez is as well. But I'm not going to lie, this kit is nice. This kit is nice. Martinez, the 5'9" commanding centre back. I have no issue with Martinez's height. Jules Koundé's 5'10", and remember, he's meant to be this brilliant signing as well. But this is a good look. I mean, can I zoom in or not? Just because this is a bit zoomed out. No, can't. Lisandro Martinez is here. We might as well give it a like as well. Big up Lisandro Martinez to Manchester United. I mean, look, we all knew it was going to be announced today. It took them 10 days to announce it, but you cannot complain. You cannot complain as well. Hopefully, I'm hoping to see some more pictures here. There's Lisandro Martinez in his Man United kit. Let's see if we can find some pictures. I wonder if any more pictures has come out. Here they are. Here are the pictures. Here are the pictures that's been released. Big up United Report. So that's Lisandro Martinez in a Manchester United kit. That's the first picture that's been released. Big up Lisandro. Another picture that's been released. And another picture that's been released. I tell you what, some lovely pictures. I really do like that away kit. I really do like that away kit. I like the home kit as well. It's one of the first seasons where I've actually been a fan of both home and away kits. Didn't like the home kit last season, but this is cold. This is cold. So there we go. We've actually got the Lisandro Martinez. He's finally here. Lisandro Martinez finally in a Man United shirt and all of that, which is absolutely brilliant. But guys, make sure you smash that like button and of course subscribe down below if you're new, because we've got another video coming out later today. Manchester United, and a lot of people don't know this, but Man United have got a pre-season friendly today versus Wrexham behind closed doors in which Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez will feature him. So Lisandro Martinez and Eriksen will make technically their Man United debut today behind closed doors against Wrexham, which we're doing a video on. So make sure you subscribe for that as well. United have obviously done all their videos and announcing Lisandro Martinez, which I would share with you guys, but again, I don't want to get copyrighted. But Martinez and Varane is what we want to see. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, what is your ideal centre-back pairing for Man United next season? What's your ideal pairing? Is it Lisandro Martinez and Maguire? Is it Lisandro Martinez and Lindelof? Is it Lisandro Martinez and Bailly? Is it Lisandro Martinez and Varane? What centre-back pairing would you like to see at Manchester United next season? You know, who would be your sort of first choice pairing? Mine would be Varane and Martinez. I would like to see Martinez and Bailly, but I don't think that's ever going to happen, unfortunately, as well. He's only 24, Lisandro Martinez. I might be live tonight. If I am live tonight, there will be like a 9 o'clock live instead of a 7 o'clock live. So make sure if you're subscribed, you have that notification bell on so you do know if I'm live later. If we get any big news, there will be a live tonight. If we get any really interesting news, there will be a live tonight. There will be a video later, and there could be a live stream at 9 p.m. or whenever if we get some big news. I mean, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people say Maguire and Martinez. A lot of people say Martinez and Bailly. Lisandro's can he speak English as well? I don't know that. Does he speak better English than Kane? I actually would like to see Lisandro Martinez and Bailly, as Dylan said. I actually think that would be so sick to see. Honestly, I do. Hopefully West Ham can get Kostic. If West Ham get Kostic and Scamacca, I mean, I think West Ham having a really underrated transfer window as well. I actually really rate the business West Ham have done. I think West Ham could push top 6 again. I worry that if we don't sign De Jong and Antony, West Ham can finish above us. And people call me crazy, but do not underestimate West Ham. They're going to keep Declan Rice, and they've done some good business. I'll tell you that now. Would you prefer Antony or a proven striker or centre forward? Depends if Ronaldo leaves or not. If Ronaldo leaves, 100% proven striker or centre forward. If Antony's going to cost us more than 60 million, 100% proven striker or centre forward. But Antony's who Ten Hag wants. So my thought process is, at the end of the day, if that's who Ten Hag wants, you know, we've got to deliver the player that Ten Hag wants, surely, as well. But yeah, I wouldn't want to spend more than 50 mil on Antony myself. But, you know, it's who Ten Hag wants. And my stance has been, you know, back the manager no matter the cost, get who the manager wants, all of that. That has been my stance for a while. So that is sort of the only thing as well. Harry Maguire's the biggest sports bust of all time. I don't think Harry Maguire's a total flop, but he's not worth 80 million. He was crap last season. Nkunku, I tell you this now, we won't get Nkunku this season. Man United, unfortunately, won't be able to get Nkunku this season. But next season, I'd love to go for Nkunku. I'm a massive, massive fan of Nkunku as well. Honestly, massive fan. Here he is. Here's Lisandro Martinez signing his contract. And here, obviously, that's an edit of the new signing. Lisandro signing his contract. There we go. I mean, look, Martinez officially announced. We can somewhat celebrate as well. Frenkie de Jong and Antony over, and Ronaldo leaves. Best news so far. Now Ten Hag can move on and find solutions. Well, we don't know if that's the situation just yet. Some people will see that as good news. I'll see that as negative news. But yeah, bloody hell, we haven't even started yet. And someone said get rid of Sancho. Obviously not a Man United fan because Sancho is an absolute baller. But I am going to wrap up the live stream now, guys. There is going to be a video later today of the Manchester United versus Wrexham game where Lisandro Martinez and Eriksen are set to make their debut today versus Wrexham in a high and closed door friendly. So I will be covering that later on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed to see that as well. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Thank you everybody for tuning into today's video. If we do get any big news, there will be another live stream as well. But obviously, Laurie Whitwash just tweeted that Manchester United have announced the signing of Lisandro Martinez on a contract till June 2027 with an extra year to extend a £55 million deal. Obviously, it's 46 with 9 million in add-ons, so we'll probably reach 55, which, yes, is a very hefty price. But bish, bash, bosh, thank you for tuning in. See you next time.